Good afternoon, sports fans. Welcome to the Kaimin Sports Talk. We're joined today by Jackson Wagner, Colby Kicking Woman, and Jordan Gregory of the Montana Grizzlies. Jordan was just named an academic All-American. Talk about, what does that mean to you?
It was a big accomplishment for me, just because just 4 years of hard work, and it's nice to see your hard work pay off and be rewarded for that. But at one end of the spectrum, it's just me doing what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. So good grades are just something I feel like needs to be done as a student, and that's how I was raised. So I mean, it's nice, but it's not that big of a deal to me.
Did you get anything cool for it, or just do you get to go anywhere, any trips, anything like that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that they just put your name on a piece of paper and call you an All-American. So I mean, it's really cool. It's a really prestigious award. Only 15 players in the country get it. So I'm definitely very thankful for it.
Mm-hmm. Another guy got it, Tyler Harvey, was first team, and we missed him. We didn't get to see him play when he was here.
Yeah.
How good is he? He's the #1 scorer in the country right now. He's averaging 22.8 a game. I mean, how good is he?
Offensively, he takes and makes some of the toughest shots I've seen. Turnaround threes, step back threes. He has all that in his game. He has a bunch of ways that he can hurt you, and part of their offense is just spread you out and play you one-on-one, and they just let the guys on their team go, and that's what makes it really hard. There are some teams that have a system and you can game plan for them really well, and Eastern is just kind of freelance. So that was something that was really tough about playing Tyler Harvey. Yeah,
but you guys still eked out a win against them on Saturday. How important was that to bounce back, after that tough double overtime loss against Idaho?
Yeah, it was huge. We knew we needed a split. We felt like we had a game at Idaho and we let it slip away a little bit, but so it was big coming back to get that win. Eastern is a really good team, and they were a game ahead of us after we lost to Idaho, so we knew we needed to try and find any way we could to win that one.
Yeah, what happened in the Idaho game? It was
back and forth. We were up late, had a chance to win it with some free throws, and just didn't come through. And then once we get in overtime, we lost Martin he fouled out, and we just had trouble getting stops on the defensive end. If you're trying to just score with the team in their home gym, most times you're going to lose. And so we just couldn't find a way to get stops, and I think we tired out a little bit by that double overtime.
Mm-hmm.
What about your performance in that game? You went for 36, passed 3 people on the all-time scoring charts. You're up to 16th now.
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of in the zone. I feel, I think when you try and score too much, it usually works opposite. And, once Martin went out, I knew I had to be a little bit more aggressive. And, just started hunting my shot down a little bit more, and, got a couple tough ones to fall, and then just went from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of, I feel like, maybe more up and down shooting-wise for you this season than we've seen in the past, and I've only seen, a couple of games, but I thought, it was kind of rough, just especially against MSU. Nothing was going in. I think you had 3 points.
Yeah. And
you're playing them again this weekend, so what are you going to try and do maybe to have more offensive success against those guys?
I'm not going to change anything. Against the Cats, I had probably 3 or 4 shots that rimmed in and out. Shots I think that I usually make just didn't go down. That's basketball. And being on a team last year with guys like Kareem and Karan, there were more opportunities for easier baskets. Now the team are focusing more on myself and Martin. There's not a lot of opportunities to get easy buckets to get you going. So I mean, at the end of the day, you just have to just stay on the course and just keep shooting the shots you've been successful with in the past.
Last game of the regular season, maybe last game against the Cats. What's that mean to you?
Yeah, it's big. I've never lost to Montana State, so definitely want to keep that tradition going. Record-wise, they've been struggling, but as of late, they've been playing a lot better. They've played a lot of teams close, and they're a young team. They'll be playing teams neck and neck, and then slow down or have a little, I don't know, just miss some shots for a 2 to 3 minute margin, and end up losing by 10. But I mean, for people who really watch them, they know that they have potential, and so we can't come in and overlook them.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are outperforming a lot of preseason expectations. Talk a little bit about Coach Shakir and how he's been able to adjust in his first season.
It's definitely been an adjustment. I mean, I think for anyone who's their first year coach, is going to go through some growing pains. But we've had great assistants, Coach Jano, who's been here, and Coach Bone, who was a coach at a Pac-12 school. So he's definitely had some great help from our coaching staff, and they implemented a system that works, and they stuck to the system. And I think that's important when you're a new coach. You can't when you lose a game or when something's not working, you can't stray from our what we originally put as our game plan for the year, and I think they've done a really good job at sticking to that.
What's the biggest difference between DeCure and Coach Tinkle?
Well, our defensive principles are totally different. I'd say that's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
We run a bunch of different sets. We run a lot more plays with Coach DeCure than we did with Coach Tinks. I guess when you got guys like Will and Kareem, I think he would. I think even last year he probably would have ran more plays, but at the same time he lets us play. He lets us play too. So I mean, it's a little bit more structured in some ways, but not in the other.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the same in their intensity and their pride and tradition. I mean, they're both Montana guys, so there's a lot of similarities.
Kind of moving towards the NBA. You're a Nuggets fan. You're from Colorado, and your boys fired Bratton Shaw today.
Yeah, I saw that.
I guess my question isn't so much about Bratton Shaw. It's more about how badly do you miss George Karl?
That's what I was gonna say. I thought it was ridiculous that they fired George Karl, and it put Shaw in an unfair position. I mean, they had Karl's team, he had Karl's players, and I think that the biggest thing with Shaw is that he didn't have the respect of his team. I remember I was watching one game on TNT or something. They were saying that he couldn't even get the guys to put their phones away during meetings, and just a lot of disrespect I think they have for Coach Shaw. Which, I mean, he's a first-year coach too, and so getting the respect of your players is probably the biggest thing.
I don't know if you heard, it seems kind of just like the team's given up almost.
Yeah.
They were cheering for the end of the season.
Yeah.
The other day. What's up with that?
I don't know. It's kind of disheartening as a fan because you see other teams who are doing worse than they are and still playing hard, and I think that comes with immaturity on the part of the Nuggets. And I really don't understand because they do have veterans that have been in the league a while, but I think it just comes down to the fact that they don't respect the system and they don't respect the coach.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are talking about the James Harden LeBron James incident when James Harden gave LeBron a little kick to the groin. What did you think of that play, and what's the dirtiest thing that's ever happened to you on the court?
Sheesh. It seems like LeBron's always getting someone's best shot, and I think that just comes with him being the best player on the world. And James Harden is making a point to be one of the hardest players to defend in the league right now. So I think that was just I think it was an overreaction of two competitive guys. It's like King James has the crown, and Harden wants the crown, so emotions boiled over, and I think they'd be cool with that. They played on Team USA and everything, but I wonder if they had a discussion afterwards or something like that.
Do you think the Rockets win the West?
The West is so wide open right now. I mean, the Thunder are coming once they get healthy. The Rockets are good. I think they have a good. Honestly, I think they have a good chance. I don't think the Warriors are going to win the West. I don't think their game is suited for the playoffs. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting. As a Nuggets fan, it's tough because there are so many good teams in the West. So, but it's always the best basketball to watch.
And we'll get you out of here on this one. What are your plans for next year?
I mean, I would definitely love to play overseas if possible.
Have you talked to anyone about that?
Well, there's always a bunch of agents,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to get involved in that during the season, and just there's been a lot of negative stories. So when agents will, either message me on Facebook or email me, I just give them Coach Jano's email and number and let him handle that until the season's over. But I have gotten a fair amount of contact about that, but you never know until the season's over. And it's something that I've never dealt with before, so I really am going in not knowing what to expect. But that's definitely something I like to do. If not, I'll probably maybe move back to Colorado or something like that, closer to family.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow at Kaimin Sports on Twitter. See you next week.